just a couple of days ago, the Stellar Blade PC launch details were leaked and a lot of people got super hyped, but now they finally put up pre-orders. They're addressing things like region lock, and it is all looking really good for this release in just a couple of weeks. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, Stellar Blade was nearly my game of the year last year. I just think that Black Myth Wukong was a step above it. I thought Wukong was one of the best games I've ever played. Phenomenal experience all around, but Stellar Blade was still really good. I know that it did face some controversy because of censorship, and I do not want to downplay that. There's definitely a valid reason why so many people did not play it. I totally understand. Now that it's coming to PC, though, first of all, we're seeing quite a few of the costumes uncensored, so that does point to it being Sony. And we knew back then that it was primarily Sony's doing because they were the ones who demanded that like the hard R graffiti got removed from the game, and the developers had said that they had alternate versions of these costumes that one day they hope to release, and now we're actually seeing them released. But second of all, if you don't like any of the content in this game, or you think you want the costumes to be a little bit more showy, a little bit more risque, you can just mod the title, which I think is great, and we are going to see massive meltdowns because of the mods. I mean, day one, we're going to see tons of them banned on Nexus mods. I would put money on it. And luckily, there are alternative platforms, DEG mods, Ayaka mods, you have based mods, so many amazing ones out there that I'd highly recommend you check out so you don't have to use Nexus and you don't have to deal with your content being censored and mods that you make removed off the platform or your account being banned. But Stellar Blade is already on the global top sellers chart. It is actually outselling Doom right now, which is pretty crazy, and they are addressing some of the questions people have had about things like region lock. So first of all, let's take a look at this. As you can see, Counter-Strike is number 1, Stellar Blade is number 2, and Doom, the Dark Ages is number 3. Now, Claire Obscure is number 4. That had held the spot up until very recently. It's been a couple of weeks since it's released, so I understand it going down the chart a little bit. It's pretty crazy, though, that Doom the Dark Ages is here. It's not doing good on Steam. I think part of that is because of the new system that Microsoft is trying to implement, the Xbox Play Anywhere. I think now, with the Microsoft games that have Play Anywhere, Steam DB is no longer reliable because a lot of people are not going to be purchasing it on Steam. Like, I purchased Doom the Dark Ages on PC. I purchased it through the Microsoft Store so I could play it on my Xbox Series X and I could play it on PC if I wanted. I don't think we are going to see Microsoft games really topping the Steam charts anymore. Maybe they will. We don't know for certain, but I think that part of that is the reason why Doom the Dark Ages isn't selling so well here. Again, like, I'm not trying to defend Microsoft by any means. I just think that that's an important part of the story. But Stellar Blade is number 2, which is phenomenal to see, and we've still got a couple of weeks until it's released because it doesn't come out until June 11th. So you'd think that the Dark Ages would at least be number 2, and it's not. The hype for Stellar Blade's launch is definitely real. I'm super hyped for it. I've streamed the game twice on the channel. I think I might even stream it a third time. But we are seeing, number 1, all of the bonus content that is going to be added to the PC version will be added to the PS5 for free, which is really cool because you know how a lot of companies love to nickel and dime people. They could bundle these 2 new bosses and all of these 25 new costumes into a $5 add-on. They could probably make a lot of money by charging $5 for it, but they're not, which I think is really fucking cool, and I do think that they deserve a lot of credit for. It says, the PC version of Stellar Blade will release on June 11th and include 25 new costumes, a new boss battle. We're hearing reports that there's 2, but we at least know that there's 1. Support for DLSS and FSR, higher resolution textures, ultra-wide support, and more. And in the PC version's official announcement, the developer ShiftUp confirmed that PS5 players will receive some of this additional content via a free update. The game's new boss battle is Man, the leader of the Sentinels. He was so cool. I'm so glad that we finally got him. And players will also be able to collect a total of 25 new nano suits as well for the reward. But there were quite a few people who were worried after hearing news about region lock, but they have clarified that they are going to do their best to fix this, to resolve these issues. This was their official statement on it. We are closely discussing the region lock issue with the publisher and are doing our best to resolve most of it as soon as possible. As shown in the test chart below, the DRM has been hard-tuned to maintain the same average frame rate with even higher minimum frames in some cases. Mods are fully supported without any restrictions. They know their audience. PSN connecting entirely optional and never required, which is so important because so many games now on Steam require you to connect a PSN account and you don't have to here, so hallelujah. And both the PC and PS5 versions offer the same content. We will make sure that early buyers are never at a disadvantage through future updates, which is just super cool. And lots of people are praising them for this transparency. W communication. I appreciate the transparency. Easy win here would be to drop de novo. This is a problem, and this is something that a lot of people have unfortunately, brought up in the discussion of potentially buying the game or not buying the game. I do think that it would be better if they had obviously removed it. Now, will they? I don't know, but de novo is so hated, the better option would be to drop it entirely. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Stellar Blade when I had played it last year, and I do recommend you at least check it out. I think the modding is a very big win. I think it's going to be awesome to see the creations that people come up with, and of course, there are a lot of snowflakes on social media who absolutely loathe this game. When it came out, the mainstream media was putting up hit pieces on this title, labeling people who purchased this game, pretty terrible things, and of course, if you stood against the censorship that happened, they were saying that you were gooners and chuds and you just wanted to be able to jerk off to characters, which is an insane take, because just because I appreciate beauty in a video game and in my entertainment does not mean I want to jerk it to that character. It does not mean that I view it as like pornographic material, but there are always going to be people who get upset on social media, and I think we're going to see that same wave of backlash kind of happen again. I think we are going to see a lot of those same culprits put up hit pieces, try to bury this launch, though so far it is clearly not working given it is on the global top sellers chart on Steam now. And even looking at the most wishlisted upcoming Steam games, Stellar Blade is not in the top 5 or 6. It's actually number 19, but we are still a few weeks away, so I do think that it is going to continue to shoot up. And a lot of these games are titles that don't even have release dates that have just been on here forever, like Hollow Knight Silksong, Deadlock is on here, Light No Fire is here, Arc 2, we've got Blight Survival, we've got Unrecord, so we're not talking about games that are even coming out in 2025 or anytime soon that we know of, so I think that that is also important to point out here. I think that Stellar Blade will shoot up the Steam games most wishlisted list rankings. I think that it's doing really good right now, and I'll be keeping my eye on this. I again think that there's going to be a lot of backlash, a lot of hatred levied towards this, and to shift up, which I don't really think is warranted. And when the mods finally launch for this, we are going to see some more glorious meltdowns. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.